What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. I've been working away this morning already for about an hour and a half now, stripping the S14 of its subframes. So as you can see, we've already dropped the front subframe out. We've also already dropped the rear subframe out. So I mentioned in the last Cefiro video that I was going to be taking the subframes out of that to run on the old Cefiro. So if you couldn't tell by now, it's probably in the title of the video, but yeah, today is the Cef video. So yeah, we're going to be taking the S14 subframes that I've already taken out of the S14 and putting them in the Cefiro. Obviously, I've still got to take the subframes out of this. Now, I say subframes, I'm actually only swapping over the front subframe, and then the rear, I'm probably going to just run all the arms and stuff. I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to do for axles, if they're going to be too long or not, because these S14 subframes are a little bit wider than the Cefiro S13 Laurel subframes. So to run the actual S14 subframe, I'd have to smack these bushes out. You can get some offset bushes, but these are solid and I'm just not going to bother with that. I'm just going to keep this subframe around for another time. And then the subframe that's in this, I'm still going to drop it. We'll swap the diff and hopefully the axles won't be too long over, and then just swap all the arms over onto the subframe that's in this. First off, in the theme of keeping it nice and tidy though, got the laid out here and water blasters inside. So I'm just going to give these a quick water blast, and it's super hot, so it's going to be more than dry by the time I need to go and put it in the Cef. Like I said, I've only been working for about an hour this morning and I'm sweating a lot already. Shout out to my girlfriend for getting me this table. It's a nice little work area to have if I'm working on cars outside. I don't have to go all the way back to the bench. You know, saving those extra 10 steps, it goes a long way. Got the water blaster all set up. Now I'm just going to go through and give these a quick blast, clean them all up, and then we'll start taking the subframes out of the Cef. Subframes all nice and spick and span. So now I'm going to start working on taking the subframes out of this before we chuck those in. So like I was saying, I can't actually just chuck that rear subframe into this, but this doesn't actually currently have a diff in it. So I'm going to take the subframe out of this so I can then just swap the diff and axles and all the arms and stuff over, and then I'll just put the whole rear subframe back into this car as one unit. But yeah, that's ahead of us. Like I said, first we're going to take these subframes out, probably take the front one out first. I mean, they're both super easy to take out, but yeah, I'll shut up and just start doing it. Now I got the car on some wheels, ran out of jack stands because that's sitting on 4 of the 6 I have, and the last 2 are on the back of that. As you can see, there's 2 wheels on the front of that. Now this is like this. Just going to quickly undo these 2. We'll just leave the strut in there for now. We'll take that out last. And then I'm going to take this bolt here out, which is for the cast iron bracket. And then that's just 4 bolts either side, well, 2 bolts either side for the subframe, and then the whole thing will just drop down. Oh, and lastly the steering shaft U-joint. So that was already loose. That's good. Was hoping the front would be high enough for me to roll it out, but unfortunately not. God, doing this one-handed while trying to hold a camera is fucking annoying. Hang on, just let me readjust this stroke. I need 2 hands for this. So this is what I ended up having to do because it had no diff. Usually obviously the diff's here and you would jack the whole subframe by the diff, but yeah, since it's not there, I just got a bit of wood, it's on the back, on the front, lifts it up, I can Bob's your auntie. So yeah, that's the subframes out of this one. I actually put the front subframe back in this just after I took it out of that, just because it was easy. But this one, we got to break it down because yeah, like I said, the actual subframe itself is going back into the Cef. It's just all the arms and hubs that we're going to rob from the other one, chuck them over onto this. Holy shit. You guys are probably going to get sick of me saying this, but I am so hot. So sweaty. I've probably drank my body weight in water today already. Got the Cefiro subframe here, about to start taking off the arms and knuckles. Taking the arms and knuckles off the S14 subframe here. Still got the axles in. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to be able to run those, because I know the S14 subframe is just that little bit longer, and S14 subframe is just a little bit wider, so I'm not sure if these axles are going to work. I'm just going to try them. I could probably spend 2 seconds looking it up, but I'm just going to chuck them in and see if it works or not. If they don't, it's not a big deal. I've got a set of Cefiro axles ready to go. Went to the lockup and grabbed this diff because it has the 4-bolt backing plate that I need. That's like the 3:7 ratio, so I don't want to run that diff, but I'm just going to take that backing plate and chuck it on the 4.1 diff that's in the S14 subframe, because obviously that's got the 2-bolt backing plate. Right, I'll set you guys on for a bit of a time lapse. We'll spray the shit out of this stuff with CRC because it doesn't look like it's been touched in a long time. And we'll get this thing stripped down, start putting the S14 stuff on it.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide.
So finally got the Cefiro's subframe all stripped down and ready to take all the arms, diff, everything from the S14. So first thing, I'm gonna chuck this diff in. It's got the correct backing plate on it. I decided to not, so that's actually the diff out of the S14. I was initially going to use that, but I forgot that it was an ABS one. So I'm going to have to use this non-ABS one for now because I don't have a drive shaft for the ABS diff. Now this ratio is a 3:7, so I'm not sure exactly how it's going to go around Kaikoura. I know first gear will be super long, which will probably be good for the winding section, but I don't know if I really want to do Kaikoura in first gear in a turbo car. Ideally I would want a 4.1 so I could get into second. It'd be pretty ideal for it, but I mean for now we can just chuck this 3.7 in, then we'll see. Main thing I want to check out today is actually if these axles are going to work or not. I got a feeling they're not going to, but we'll try.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run.
I am going to rob these solid diff bushings, these solid GK Tech ones that were in these 14 though.
On the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'ma land mine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we.
I checked the axles and I found out that they were the same lengths after I actually decided that I was just going to swap them over. So, bit of unnecessary work for no reason, but yeah,
yeah, you know, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go.
Finally got the rear subframe pretty much ready to go back into the Cef. First thing I'm going to do though is I've got my drill here with the wire wheel on it. I'm just going to go over these studs where the subframe goes to with the wire wheel and just clean up all the threads, because I noticed that as I was taking the subframe out before, the nuts were sort of tough to get out. So yeah, just going to clean these up so the nuts go on nicely and don't fuck the threads, because if these get messed up then yeah, no, that's not a good time. Got old Play-Doh here. It's going to give me a hand putting the subframe in. Pump her up. Hang on. Pump her up. Pump her up.
Good?
Yep, keep going. Hold up, let me just get the rubber mallet. Yeah, rubber mallet's a bit better than kicking it with my foot. Rear subframe's in, including the bracket here. It's got the 2 bolts that go into the chassis rail. Rear of this is now 5-stud again. Now, if you guys remember way back on, a few of you will actually be that OG, but you guys will remember when I actually first got this thing, and it did have 5-stud big brakes and whatever on it. I honestly thought when I took that stuff off that this car would never see that stuff again, but not only is it seeing that stuff again, but it's getting a full-on angle kit. Relocated subframe, well, relocated steering rack, subframe. It's getting the business. Just need to go find Mike again so he can give me a hand. Jacking the front subframe up to the front. Yes, I just lifted a whole front of a car. Nah, I talk shit. The way that it's sitting on the wheels, it's heavily weighted to the rear. I wish I was that strong, but nah. Could have got away with that. Alright, we got 3 or 4. Up. Sure. Fucking hey, we're in. Alright, thanks. Right, what a freaking mission today has been. I am so drained after all this, working in the sun. But drop the subframes out of that initially, drop the subframes out of that. We now got the subframes from that in this. It's all buttoned up. I have noticed that the caster arm here is quite a lot longer than it needs to be for this. I noticed that one is a bit shorter, so it makes sense. I have a little bit of adjustment in here. I'm going to play around with that probably later on tonight. Probably won't bother filming that, but just to see if I can get that rose joint back enough so I can get a bolt through. Otherwise I might have to just look into some other caster arms. It's no big deal. But before I wrap this video up, I just want to chuck some wheels on this thing now that it's 5-stud. So a while ago I actually did purchase a new set of wheels for the track car. Just never got around to getting tyres fitted on them and then putting them on the car, but here they are. So these are basically Enki, I think they're RPF1 knockoffs. Yes, these are Chinese wheels. They're not real, but now that this thing's 5-stud, I'm going to put this back on and yeah, see what it looks like, because those wheels are actually what's going to be run on this car. That ain't looking too bad on there. I'll check it up a little bit more. Yeah, liking the look of that. Right, let's get the rear one on. The front of them are 18x9s, and the rear ones are 18x10s. So they are a little bit wider. Probably going to see if I can get a 225 for the front, because I think a 225 on a 9 is going to have a decent bit of stretch, and then a 235 on a 10 should also have a similar amount of stretch. So yeah, we'll see how this looks. So I got the rear wheels on now, and it is looking real good. The 10 actually fits like perfect on here with the tire. Like, I think that would be, yeah, pretty much bang on perfect. May have to roll it a little bit. I mean, the lip in here is actually already been rolled, so we might get away with it, but yeah, that looks good. Hope you guys are enjoying the Cef content, because I'm enjoying working on this old girl again. I actually picked up a set of adjusties last night, but I'm not going to go putting those in this video. So put those on probably tomorrow actually, and then I'm also probably going to put the brakes on. So I've got the rear brakes that we pulled off that to go on here, and I forgot that I got so many parts I forget what I fucking have sometimes, but I remembered that I actually have a set of R33 GDST big brakes, so I can chuck those on the front of this thing. So this is going to have big brakes all around. And yeah, what are you doing, Mr. Plato?
Just got some alloy winders for my car, and they're like grub screwed on, which isn't like the best design, so I'm just Loctiting the screws so they don't come loose. The ones in my car are like vinyl painted factory ones, which look okay, but after a while they get all the paint taken off them, so you got to paint them all the time. And I just realised I forgot that they were glued on because they're obviously old, and where the clip goes through is like broken, so I had to glue them on.
Yeah.
So this is better anyway.
Fucking A. Alright, so guys, not sure if this is going to be too action packed or whatnot, but it's been a long day, I tell you. Having to drop subframes out of 2 cars and then I've put both the subframes back in this, and I've still got the rear one to put back into that, but I'm probably not going to do that today either. I'm shattered. I'll probably do that tomorrow morning before I start filming. It's a good thing about being a full-time YouTuber is I've got plenty of time to do shit like this. So yeah, cheers for watching, guys. Appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving me over the last week. Keep it up, it's awesome. But yeah, you know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, which will probably be tomorrow.